leads to the green felt at the star-studded WPT Invitational here on the World Poker Tour.
The World Poker Tour is a series of 17 international poker tournaments featuring the biggest games, the greatest players, and the largest payouts on the planet. In Los Angeles, 6 players remain in a star-studded invitational. It's fame and a fortune. Tonight on the World Poker Tour.
Hi everyone, welcome to the World Poker Tour. I'm Mike Sexton along with Vince Van Patten, and we're at the Commerce Casino in Los Angeles where the stage has been set for the 4th annual WPT Invitational.
Mike, this is always fun. This is where the Hollywood celebrities mix it up with the professional poker players, and I gotta say, they're becoming one and the same.
Hey, you're right about that, Vince. Hollywood celebs have got some games. Just a couple years ago, we saw Ben Affleck win a $10,000 buy-in no-limit hold'em championship event against the best players in the world right here in this casino. Earlier this season, talented actress Jennifer Tilly won her own WPT title, and actors Gabe Kaplan, Tom Everett Scott, and big-time Hollywood director Todd Phillips, they've all made it to WPT final tables.
That is true, Mike. And nowadays, it's the poker pros that are signing the autographs. I mean, just a few moments ago, a person almost knocked me over trying to get the autograph of Barry Greenstein. It's true.
Barry Greenstein is a megastar in the poker world, but as you know, Vince, only one person shines above the rest in poker, and that's whoever takes home the cash and the title.
That is true. Okay, we have 6 great players. Let's meet them. In 6-chip position tonight, the short stack is Ugar Marengos from Las Vegas, Nevada. Ugar's got 64,000 in chips, and you know what? He is the poker room manager at the Mirage. All right, moving over to 5th chip position with 166,000 is Alan Kessler. Alan is into the internet marketing business, and he's also from Las Vegas.
Starting out in 4th chip position tonight with 279,000 in chips is retired real estate investor Jesse Jones. Jesse loves to play tournament poker, and Vince, this guy is proof that nice guys can make it to the final table. Starting out in 3rd chip position tonight with 573,000 in chips is professional player Blair Rodman. We saw Blair finish runner-up in the WPT event in Reno last year. He's looking to capture his first WPT title tonight.
Okay, and moving over to 2nd chip position with $740,000 is Thomas Locke from Henderson, Nevada. He's a retired park manager, and if he should win this event, Mike, you know, he can go back into the woods and brag to Yogi Bear.
Well, our big chip leader tonight with 1.1 million in chips is former WPT champion Barry Greenstein. Barry is known as the Robin Hood of poker because he takes all his tournament winnings and donates it to charity. Barry's looking to capture his 2nd WPT title tonight.
This is going to be a good one. Let's go down to the felt.
All right, here we go.
You're right, Mike. It's always exciting, a lot of fun. Where Hollywood meets Vegas. Antes will be $2,000. Blind's going to be $6,000 and $12,000. And we are about to get started. Barry Greenstein, the Robin Hood of poker, of course, is our chip leader with close to $1.2 million. Just a brilliant poker mind. Just great to see him out here again. The cards are in the air. And first to act will be Tom Locke.
Tom won a seniors tournament at Bellagio to get in this tournament.
He quickly folds. Now Jesse Jones with ace-8. Showed up in his maitre d' outfit this evening.
Boy, he looks very dapper tonight.
Looks terrific.
Feel like you want to order a bottle of Cabernet off him or something.
Oh.
It's a wine steward, but he's going to raise it. Makes it 36,000 to go.
Barry Greenstein folds a 4-3. Blair Rodman out.
Over to Ugar Marengos. Ugar's the poker room manager at the Mirage in Las Vegas.
And he's the short stack right now. And look at this. He's got King 10 of diamonds. Will he take the plunge right here?
Well, that's his problem. It's 36,000 to go here. He's only got 64,000. Going to wait for a better spot.
Only one to beat is Alan Kessler. Jack 10 off suit.
And he opts to fold.
So just like that, Jesse Jones passed the hors d'oeuvres. You've won the first pot here.
Well, this is certainly a special event for us because it's the only event on the World Poker Tour that we get to play in. Unfortunately, we bombed out on day one, but I had such a great time. I sat next to Jason Alexander for hours on day one. He got all my chips, too, I might add.
Nice name drop, Mike.
Well, what can I do?
All right, action's going to be on Blair Rodman. And look at this, Blair Rodman with a big hand, ace, queen of diamonds. Goes up to 35,000. Ugar quickly folding.
Alan going out.
Now Tom Locke going out, and Jesse Jones with King 7.
He's going to lay it down.
Only one to beat is Barry Greenstein, but look at this. Barry's got Queen Jack of Hearts. Quickly calls.
Yep, the former WPT champion. And here comes the flop. The flop comes 6-3 deuce. Barry checks.
Either player hitting anything on that flop. Let's see if Blair continues with the force.
Well, he knows he's up against the chip leader. Does that make you hesitate to pull the trigger? No, it doesn't. Blair Rodman is doing that.
Nice strong bet, 65,000, and Barry has to lay it down. Good instincts by Blair Rodman, raising before the flop and then after.
So chalk one up to the pro from Las Vegas. So Blair Rodman takes down that pot. Not only a good poker player, Vince. I've played a lot of golf with Blair. He's a very good golfer.
No, he's one of those high-stakes kind of gamblers. Will bet on anything kind of guys. He's a lot of fun to hang out with.
Yeah. Our kind of guy.
Yes, he is. All right, back to the table on Alan Kessler. And look at this. Alan is big, slick, ace-king.
Alan's a pretty solid player.
38,000.
Gets a lot of respect when he raises the pots. And he's going to raise it here with ace-king.
Tom Locke, he goes out with ace-5. Jesse Jones now peeking down at an 8-3. Goes out.
Barry Greenstein quickly folds, as does Blair. Ugar is out. So just that quickly, Alan Kessler is going to take down the pot. So Alan picks up his first pot. And Vince, now did he or any of these players at the table get your chips in this tournament? Who got them?
Well, that's funny. No, it wasn't Alan, but, you know, Ricky Lake stole some of my chips, you know, which was kind of embarrassing. But what are you going to do? You know, James Garner took a piece of me. They all had their shots. Let's get back down to the table. Action is going to be on Tom Locke, the retired park ranger, quickly folding his hand.
Over to Jesse Jones. Looks down at a pretty nice hand, ace-10 of hearts.
That is a big hand. Six-handed poker game. Ace-10 of hearts.
He's going to raise it. Makes it 36,000 to go.
Barry quickly folding 9-5. Dolly Parton. Blair going out.
Around to Ugar Morangas. And Vince, he's on the short stack. Only got about 40,000 left. He's got an ace high.
Well, he's got the kids game. Acey-deucey in his hand.
Is he going to make a stand here? He's going to have to make it soon.
The Mirage Poker manager making a final table on the WPT Tour. I mean, that's bragging rights when you go back to the club. Does he want to take a shot here with his ace-deuce? He would be in dire straits, of course.
When you're on the short stack, sometimes you feel like you got to make something happen.
He's got his little cowboy vest on tonight. Looks like he could be a sheriff at Dodge.
He might have to ride back out to the Wild West here if he plays this pot.
All in.
He has done it.
This is ugly. Now Alan Kessler right behind him. He's got a decent hand. King, queen in the big blind.
Well, Ugar's gone all in for 38,000.
Does he want to add to the carnage here?
Well, he's the next short stack in this tournament. Does he want to gamble here?
I call.
He is going to make the call. So big pot brewing here. Ugar Morangas all in.
Reaction on this pot.
You got action. Yeah.
Ace-10 versus ace-deuce versus king-queen. Here's the flop.
Oh, what a flop for Jesse Jones. He's flopped the nut flush. He has the ace-10 of hearts. It's come 8-7, 6 of hearts. And Alan checks. Look at this. Jesse Jones checks right behind him. He's going to try to reel Alan in here.
Ugar is dead man watching right now. A 6 on the turn.
Anytime you've got a flush, you don't like to see pairs coming up on the board.
It's going to wrap it up for Ugar. And look at this. He's going all in.
Well, he is not fooling around.
The jig is up. Doesn't want anybody outdrawn. We know Alan can't call it, so this is going to do it. Oh, my.
Yep, Ugar Merengue is drawing dead, as we say. There's no card that can come up on the river that can help him.
Never had a shot here tonight.
He's going to get back to the room, and all the dealers are going to say, what were you thinking there?
Yeah. You're right. What a gentleman. That's going to do it for Ugar Merengues. He is our 6th place finisher as he graciously shakes everyone's hand.
Which way are you?
So Jesse Jones picking up a nice pot, and the crowd cheering him on.
We are down to 5 players at the WPT Invitational. Stay tuned. We're coming right back in just a moment.
It's so terrible. I was riding high, man. I had a full house with jacks and 4s. I went all in. He called me with queens, so there were queens and 4s, and then a queen came on the river. It's crazy.
I do this sometimes. Don't get crazy and think I'm checking.
I'm afraid I'm an addict for this show.
Come on, I had a hand.
I have blown some morning meetings, being up at 3 in the morning watching reruns, knowing who won, and going, can't turn it off, can't turn it off.
Does this have cash value anywhere?
It's very addictive.
Welcome back to the glitziest event on the tour, the WPT Invitational. I'm Vince Van Patten alongside Mike Sexton, where 5 players remain.
Our current chip leader is former WPT champion Barry Greenstein. But Jesse Jones made a nice move by winning that last pot. And what a story he is, Vince. Not only one of the great good guys out here on the tour, he survived throat cancer 3 times.
Yeah.
Just great to have him with us.
Well, he's on a rush. It's on Jesse. He's got King 10 this time.
He's going to lay it down. So here's Barry Greenstein, former WPT champion. And look at this, Vince. He's got 6-3 offsuit, yet he's going to raise the pot with it. Comes in for $40,000.
Oh, he's going to play with that mess of a hand. Blair quickly folding. And now Alan Kessler with Queen Deuce. He goes away.
Over to Tom Locke and the big blind. He looks down at Jack 7 offsuit, throws it away.
And just like that, Robin Hood stealing from the rich and giving back to his big stack.
You know, he's the most amazing story perhaps on the World Poker Tour in that he gives all of his winnings out here to charity. But Vince, it shows you the other side of Robin Hood here. He does like to steal.
Anything but winning will be a disappointment.
Barry's taking this title.
Barry Greenstein is going to be our 5th place finisher.
I like the fact that he donates all his winnings to charity. I give him a lot of respect for that.
James Garner came over and made a special effort just to say to me how he appreciated what I do with giving my money to charity. That was really special. I really appreciated that. I've labeled some of those with my initials on them. I just want you guys to know that.
Barry Greenstein, obviously a great player. I know he's going to be aggressive, and I'm just going to have to get in there and play with him.
I've made the final table a couple times, but not gotten to the final 6. I think it was the pressure of getting a chance to meet Courtney Friel.
Well, he's a great philanthropist, and you know, he also said that it has rubbed off on Jesse. Jesse doing so much charitable work as well. So a lot of great people at this final table. Action right back on Barry this time with 10-8. He folds.
Now we're over to Blair Rodman. Now Blair has the 6-4 of diamonds. Now, incredibly, we just saw Barry raise with 6-3, and now Blair's raising with 6-4.
Well, the 2 KG vets know these guys are more or less amateurs. They can push him around, and that's what they're doing. Now, right behind him, Allen's got King, Queen of Spades. He says all in, though.
Yes, he is. He's going all in here.
Picked up a big hand. Tom Locke out.
He's got about $115,000 in total.
Jesse, he's got Jack 6. Yeah, there he goes out.
So now we're back around to Blair. And what he's doing now is calculating what we call pot odds. It's how much more it cost him to call versus how much is in the pot. In this case, it's going to cost him $78,000 to call.
Taking 40, please.
There's about $180,000 in the pot. So he's getting about 2.5 to 1 pot odds here.
76,000 more.
Now, he was fooling around with the 6-4 diamonds, wanted to pick this off, but he ran into someone.
I'm ahead right now, you're saying?
Pretty solid hand. King, Queen of Spades.
If you're not ahead, you're really
Now, do you want to continue donating and take a shot?
Now, you may wonder, why would a guy call with a 6-4 in this spot?
But he's doing it.
It's because of proper pot odds.
That is correct.
And in fact, Blair's made the correct decision here. in terms of getting the right price to play.
And he has a shot at taking Alan Kessler out of this event.
Now, when we talk about pot odds and all that, we're saying the price he gets is worth more than it cost him to make the call. So therefore, a correct decision is to call when you're a 2-to-1 underdog and you're getting 2.5-to-1 pot odds. Doesn't mean you're going to win the pot.
Here comes the first three. Look at this. It's a 7-5-10 open-ended straight draw for Blair.
So Blair can now take the lead with a 6 or a 4 and can win the pot outright if a 3 or an 8 comes up. He'll make it straight.
Yeah.
He would knock out another player who would be down to 4.
Game at 3.
Can the amateur player survive with his king-queen?
Come on.
Here it is. It's an ace of hearts.
Well, an ace comes off. So we are down to the river.
Pair the board. Pair the board.
Alan talking to the cards. Here we go.
Well, he's talking right. He said pair the board. That's what happened.
He did it. His hand's going to hold up.
It's in my neighborhood.
So Alan Kessler going to double up here and win a nice pot.
Let me tell you something. You can't play tennis at Wimbledon if you're an amateur. You can't compete with the best. That's why you got to love poker. Anyone can play with the superstars, and that's what we're seeing here tonight. It's exciting.
Well, it really is. And this event is especially exciting because we've got all the top Hollywood celebs going against top poker pros. See how they fare.
All right, action right back down on the cagey vet Blair Rodman.
It's your blinder.
Got a little suited connector, 4-3 of clubs. Look at this, Vince. He just got burned a moment ago with the 6-4 of diamonds. Is he thinking about playing the 4 high this time? Well, he believes in that axiom. If it doesn't first succeed, try again.
It goes up to $40,000. Allen quickly folding. Now into Tom Lock with King Deuce. He only plays locks, it seems like. Goes out.
Over to Jesse.
Jesse's got Ace-7. Nope.
He lays it down. Barry quickly folds. Blair picks up that pot with a 4 high.
You know, the amateurs can play with the pros on the World Poker Tour, but it's not going to be easy. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
I actually didn't play in this event the last 2 years. I was registered and my chips were on the table, but there was a big poker game downstairs that I was playing in. But there was no big game this year, so this was the first time I got to take all the hands and play, and probably gave me a better chance of making it here to the final table as a result.
It's not your typical day here at Commerce Casino. Today's all about Hollywood.
I think the Invitational is probably the best party in town. And I'm counting the Oscars.
Not too much pressure.
It's great because you have a lot of celebrities that are here to have a good time. And then you have the poker players, and the two worlds are kind of colliding.
Oh!
If you take, like, the Hollywood Stars softball game, and then you take the actual Major League All-Star game,
You can do it!
and you mix them, that's what this is. This would be like getting to get on the field and play with A-Rod and Derek Jeter.
Well, we were talking about my friend Norm MacDonald.
The celebrity that lasts the longest in the Invitational gets $10,000 for their charity, which my charity is Bald Jews from New Jersey. So I'm really hoping.
I have an announcement to make for everybody. Will Wheaton is our last celebrity standing.
I'm all in. Poker is a game of incredible skill and a little bit of luck. You know, I got lucky a few times.
Thank you very much.
I had a blast. It was awesome.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. You're watching the WPT Invitational.
And Mike, this has been great so far. I mean, this thing started out as like a fun free roll with the celebs, but now it is a very serious battle. Let's go back down to the table. Alan Kessler looks at Dolly Parton 9-5, goes out.
Oh, another surprise here.
And now Tom Lock with 10-7.
Wow, look at this, Vince. Raising with a 10-7 offsuit. Something you don't expect from an amateur.
Jesse Jones with 10-7 goes out. Barry out.
Round to Blair. He's going to lay his hand down. So chalk one up to the retired park ranger. He got into this tournament by winning a seniors tournament at Bellagio. Trying to parlay it into a WPT title here tonight. It could happen.
My name is Tom Locke. I was a park ranger, then a park manager. I think the strongest part of my game is reading people. There's 2 guys that I have picked up a couple tells on. Maybe you'll catch on later.
I bet you get a lot of poker practice if you're out there in the hills, you know, by yourself, talking to the animals, looking over the forest, you know, you're shuffling a lot, you're imagining.
Who do you play with, Vince? You play solitary, Mary, but...
All right, back to the table on Blair Rodman.
Blair looks down at a nice hand. He's got a pair of 10s.
Yes, he does.
Oh, man. Now I got Patty and Steve down in there.
Big smile on Blair's face right now.
You gonna go all in? I haven't looked at my hand yet.
Blind still at 6 and 12,000.
Well, Blair comes in for 40,000.
Yes, he does. Allen quickly folding. Tom Locke with ace-9 here goes out.
Jesse Jones in the small blind here has got ace-jack.
Also a pretty good starting hand. He is contemplating this.
That's the kind of hand. Do you want to battle against the guy who raised in first position and who has more chips than you?
Retired real estate man says, I'm going to invest.
Yep, Jesse's going to make the call.
Right behind them, Barry Greenstein. He's got a wide pair of 7s. He's got a situation here.
We've seen Blair make a lot of raises.
I'll go all in.
He's going over the top all in, Mike.
Uh-oh. We could have a new chip leader after this pot.
What a place this could be for Blair Rodman. He would be dominating if he should make this call. What an overbet, though.
Well, Vance, I believe because it is such an overbet by Barry Greenstein, that Blair Rodman should be able to figure this out. First of all, he's not going to be worried about Jesse Jones beating his 2 10s, because had that been the case, surely he would have felt Jesse would have come over the top and raised him if he could beat the 2 10s.
That's true. And would Barry make this all-in bet if he had aces, kings, queens, or jacks? Probably not.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because of the overbet, you have a monster hand like that, you're going to make a smaller raise because you're going to want action.
So you got to think that Blair's going to stay in this and have a huge chance of crippling Barry Greenstein. What a turn of events this would be.
You can't be in better shape before the flop than to hold pair over pair against your opponent.
All right.
But look at this, he's going out.
Blair Rodman lays down the 2 10s.
Ouch.
And now let's see what Jesse Jones is going to do. Remember, both Blair and Jesse's tournament life would be on the line if they made this call.
Robin Hood has no idea who he just robbed right there. Back on Jesse now with the ace-jack, and look at him staring down Barry. Wow.
That's a case that if either player could see Barry Greenstein's cards, they would have dove when this pot heads up.
Oh, but he's going out as well. What a move by Barry Greenstein.
Yeah, that's the reputation of Barry Greenstein and the power of having the chip lead. You put fear in your opponents. Barry Greenstein making a play to win that pot, and honestly, Vince, I'm surprised that Blair would lay that hand down.
Well, I'll tell you something. When he watches this show, he is going to be on suicide watch, kicking himself. He could have been well out in front. All right, let's go back down on the green felt. Decision's going to be on Alan Kessler. Down to the junkie 7 deuce offsuit.
The worst starting hand you can have, and hold him. He lays it down.
Now Tom Locke folds his 8-3.
That's the second worst starting hand.
Now Jesse Jones got a queen 10 with the button.
Now his problem is he's got the 2 chip leaders and the 2 toughest players sitting behind him, and they're both in his blind position. Meaning it's tough to take pots away from them by raising the blinds, but he's trying it right here. Got the queen 10, he pops it up to 36,000.
Barry laying down 10-9, and now only one to beat is Blair Rodman in the big blind. He's got 9-8 offsuit.
And he's got 12,000 invested. Cost him 24,000 more to make the call. And we just saw him lay down 2 10s a minute ago against Barry Greenstein before the flop. Here he's going to make a call of a raise with a 9-8.
He is going to speculate. So queen 10 versus 9-8. A nice pot developing.
Well, it's Jack 8-7. Both players have a gut shot straight draw, but Blair Rodman has a pair of 8s.
By the way, if Barry would have stuck around, he would have flopped a cinch straight. Action's going to be on Blair. He's got that piece of it.
As the cards lie, Jesse can only win the pot with a queen or a 9.
Now it's on Blair to act first, and look at this. He's taking the play away from Jesse, coming out with a bet of $90,000 to go.
Well, as you said, that may very well take the play away from Jesse because he doesn't have that many chips left. You might want to bet a gut shot straight draw, but you sure hate to call your money with it.
And now he's thinking to himself, gee, I spent a lot of time getting dressed up. Hate to go home early.
You can see the problems that Blair caused him by leading out and betting into this pot. And Jesse's going to lay it down.
And that is just a solid cagey play by the veteran, Blair Rodman.
Yeah, so Blair Rodman, who made a triple bogey a moment ago against Barry Greenstein, makes a birdie here against Jesse Jones.
Yes, he does. 5 players still remaining. Laughter and mirth at the table. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more exciting action.
This is Ann Hage. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tilly.
I'm Christopher Rich.
I'm John Favreau. This is Lou Gossett Jr.
John Melendez from The Tonight Show.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? I'm John Kelly with Extra, and you're watching the WPT Invitational.
I just lost my shirt.
Hey, say love me.
I suggest you don't
Don't go away. It's fascinating.
Peace out.
Now, how did you get into poker, and do you watch the WPT?
Do I watch the WPT? I am a stalker. I TiVo it.
The muscles flaring up.
And I watch it again and again.
Flaring up.
Gus Hansen's a doll. I love it. Yeah, I wish I didn't love it quite so much.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. This is the event where the big Hollywood stars played with the big poker superstars to create these final 5 right now. Barry Greenstein has about $1.2 million and short stacked at this point. Is Alan Kessler down to about 214. Let's go back down to the table on Jesse Jones.
Jesse looks down at King Queen. He lays it down in an earlier position. We saw him raise on the button a minute ago with Queen 10.
Right behind him, Barry Greenstein with Jack 8 offsuit.
Now he's going to raise it. Comes in for $40,000. Barry Greenstein relentless with the pressure and his attack mode.
And Blair Rodman with 9-6 of hearts. He's considering this, but not.
Opts to lay it down.
And now the internet marketing man, Alan Kessler. Look at this. He's got big slick. He's going all in.
Yep, he's going all in. When amateurs make plays like this, they've got a hand.
Tom Locke going out. Got the Robin Hood.
Well, he's defenseless in this hand.
He just dropped the old bow and arrow.
Wait, they're not even stacks. Hold on.
That's the way you play top pro players, Vince.
That's okay.
When they raise it or make a bet, come over the top for a large amount of money. You force them to have a monster hand to play with you. Barry Greenstein doesn't have it here, and Alan Kessler's over the top raise takes that pot down for him.
Well, Alan has to feel good about himself. Goes to show you anyone can win here on the World Poker Tour. Now, Mike, you played this event. What the heck happened to you?
Oh, Vance, well, I hate to tell you any bad beat stories.
Oh, no.
Sitting right on my right was the top actor, Jason Alexander.
Name dropping
And he was
again.
a thorn in my side. I'm telling you, in one pot, he had a gut shot straight on the river to win. Another one, he made a flush on the river to beat me. This guy needs to start a TV series where he stars as Houdini.
Hey, I got my own Ricky Lake problems, all right? Back on Alan Kessler. This time looking down at a awful 6-5 offsuit.
He lays it down. Over to the park ranger, Tom Locke. He looks down at King Deuce, lays it down.
And now Jesse Jones with the button. He's got ace deuce of hearts.
Well, it's not one of those monster hands. And remember, he's got the top pros and the 2 chip leaders sitting in the blinds right behind him. But it's not going to slow him down. I like the way Jesse Jones is playing here. He doesn't care who those guys are. He's raising it on the button with ace high.
Barry quickly folding. Only one to beat is Blair. He's got Jack 10 in the big blind.
Well, remember the last time that Jesse raised on the button. Blair had 9-8 and called him and won the pot with it.
Oh, he sticks around like a broke cousin. He's going to make this call.
He's going to call here with the Jack 10. So again, another pot between Blair and Jesse. Here comes the flop. Well, it's ace 10-9. Blair has flopped 2 10s, second pair, but Jesse has flopped 2 aces. Well, Blair has checked it. Jesse has top pair.
Now, does he want to play this slow? Doesn't have a good kicker, a horrible one, in fact. Does he want to test the water? Put the pressure on Blair.
He raised with the ace high. He's made 2 aces, so I would assume he's going to bet here. And he does so. Now it's back to Blair Rodman. Now he's got to figure out if Jesse's telling the truth about those aces or not.
Can we take that ace out?
Part of your problem when you have second pair like this is not only do you have to face this bet, but what are you going to do on the next street if the guy bets again?
I got a piece of it, Jess, but not a big one.
Well, Blair makes a good lay down here. He lays down the 10, very wisely so.
Yeah, nice lay down by Blair. Oh, and look at this. The gentleman, Jesse Jones, showing the ace, taking the pain away from Blair.
Well, that puts a smile on Blair's face, actually, because he knows he made a good lay down. So I wouldn't recommend Jesse doing that against these top pros here. Keep them guessing, Jesse. Don't show them anything until they pay for it, my friend.
Jesse Jones came to the table tonight dressed for success, and hopefully his dream will come true.
There's been a lot of curves thrown my way. As with anything in life, you have two choices. You can let the curves knock you down, or you can say, this is life, accept it for what it is, and do your best to move forward. And that's what I feel I've always done. If there's one message I want to convey to anyone with cancer or any serious illnesses, just as we say in poker tournaments, no matter how short you are, you never give up, because if you have the will and the desire, you can survive.
Jesse Jones has been around forever. He plays a lot of tournaments. He's a very solid player.
Jesse Jones, if he's in the pot, he's got a very solid hand.
When the WPT was first being televised, I said to my wife, honey, if I ever make a final table, I'm going to wear a tux. So here we are.
Well, he is a great guy. I tell you something, with that tux, even if he doesn't win all the chips, he will definitely get all the big tips. All right, action right back on the former park ranger, Tom Locke.
Look at this guy, Vince. How'd you like to be picking his daughter up for a date at his house and he answers the door?
He goes out. Jesse Jones with Jack 9 of hearts. Goes away.
Well, Barry Greenstein on the button in position. Looks down at King 4 spade. That's good enough for him to raise with. He makes it 40,000 to go.
Robin Hood trying to strike again. Can he take it away from Blair? He goes out with Queen 6 of spades.
Well, look at this. Alan Kessler's picked up King Queen. Now, he went over the top all in against Blair Rodman with this same hand a little while ago.
Well, he has been catching some pretty cards.
Against Barry Greenstein, though, he's just going to make the call.
So King Queen versus King 4. Nice opportunity here for Alan.
Well, here comes the flop. Well, it's come 10, 10, 7. No help to either player. Alan checks.
Uneventful flop. Gives the green light to Barry, who also hit nothing.
Well, Barry is going to bet here. 50,000. Alan goes away. So once again, the pro player demonstrating that you don't have to have the best cards to win the pot. You just have to bet at it when it's your turn.
Yes, nicely done. But I'll tell you, there is a problem with Alan's game. And you know, he didn't even consider what Barry might be up to. I mean, he didn't even think for 1 second he might not have hit as well. You know, that's the problem with just playing your hand. You got to be thinking what the other guy is thinking as well. But then, who am I? I got beat by Ricky Lake. You know.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Well, yeah, we're sitting in the booth. They're at the final table here, Vince.
All right, action's going to be on Jesse Jones, the very charismatic player from Henderson, Nevada. Looks down to just an awful 7 deuce offsuit.
Well, can't play that hand. Throws it away.
Into Barry. Tickle pink about the last hand. He's got ace 9 this time of hearts. It's a good one.
Well, he raises again. He's a raising machine. Doesn't matter what he has. Comes in for 40,000.
And Blair Rodman this time also with the same hand. Just not quite as good. Ace 9 offsuit.
Well, Blair well understands that if you let Barry Greenstein have his way, he'll keep pushing you all around like a mop. At some point, you got to draw your sword in the sand and make a stand against this guy. Will Blair opt to do it here? We shall see.
Barry with over $1.2 million at this point, dominating this table.
Well, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Blair Rodman going to raise. He's coming over the top for $160,000.
He's going to push back. Allen folding his 8-6. Tom Lock with Woolworths 5 and 10 goes out. Back on Barry.
Well, Barry now faced with a very tough decision. Ace-9 is not the kind of hand you want when you've been re-raised. Barry's going to lay it down, so Blair earning that pot by making a stand and coming over the top of Barry Greenstein to take it down.
Well, right there, the tail wagging the dog there just a little bit. Blair Rodman making a nice power play. Stay tuned. We're coming back. 5 remain here on the World Poker Tour.
Richard Kind is a fine player.
25 bucks down.
Of golf.
Why do you interview me when I'm down?
Richard Kind does not bother me.
What does this add to your program? Don't you want people to watch and feel happy? No, instead you see the guy who's down, who's beaten. Has anybody got like $1.75 for my kids to eat? Tears of a clown right here, my friend. Tears of a clown.
It does.
It's over.
It comes off.
Green flag has won this. Welcome back to the World Poker Tour Invitational from the Commerce Casino. 5 players remain.
And Vince, how about a little pat on the back for our generation here? I mean, week in and week out in the World Poker Tour, we see all these young guys winning money, all the guys in their 20s. Here's a case where everybody at the table is in their 50s with the exception of Alan Kessler, and he's 40. So we've got a midlife battle going on here today.
No doubt about it. Hats off to them.
So now we're down to the battle of the blinds, the battle of the pros, the battle of the 2 chip leaders.
And Robin Hood is going to stick around with 6-4 of hearts.
Yep, he's raised it up to 40,000.
Yeah, and now it's up to Blair. Let's take a peek at his cards from the WPT Hole Cam, brought to you by Budweiser. Well, it's a King 3 of diamonds.
Yeah, I know he is.
Blair, a very capable pro who understands Barry could raise with any 2 cards. These guys are the chip leaders, and they're clashing again.
Well, he's made a nice call. He's going to stick around.
Here comes the flop. Flop is King 6-3, a great flop for Blair.
Oh, boy.
He's flopped top and bottom pair. Barry Greenstein, on the other hand, has flopped second pair. He's got 2 6s. Action's on him.
Potential problem here. And look at this. Barry's getting the fingers ready, and he's going to make a bet.
Really bet 60,000.
Oh, now if you're Blair, you're doing the little Irish jig under the table. The feet are moving. You're so happy. How to contain that excitement and just take your victim down for as much as you can. Got his fish on the hook. Do you want to shake him loose?
Well, there are 2 clubs out there. A 2-card potential straight. They're thinking, well, what if Barry really has a hand here? Like an ace-king or 2 aces even.
140 more.
Perhaps I could double up here if I raise him. That's what he's going to try to do. He raised it to 200,000 straight.
Getting a little impatient there. Doesn't want any suckouts to happen. Any ridiculousness. Back on Barry.
Barry Greenstein, an expert at reading opponents, at making the correct decisions. He does so here. He gets away from the 2 6s.
Oh, Blair let the fish off the hook there. You know, got a little impatient. Just said, I'm not going to be greedy. I've taken enough. I don't want any suckouts on me, Barry.
Well, he could have got one. A 6 could have popped off there, and he'd lost the pot. So,
and as we see, the Wonder Can comes up a 3 and then a 4. So, yeah, that could have been a lot better for Blair. But sometimes greed will hurt you.
Well, Vince, everyone has a great time playing in the WPT Invitational. But even though it's a lot of fun, if you want to win the title, you have to get serious at some point.
Well, Mike, it's like you always say, happy-go-lucky, happy-go-broke.
I never say that.
I know, but you could have. And tonight, Courtney Friel is going to have fun teaching us how to get serious at this week's WPT Poker Academy.
At the WPT Invitational, part of the fun is mingling with the stars and playing with the famous pros. But at some point, party time turns into serious poker.
Right there, boys.
No!
Don't get an ace.
Never be serious, just have fun. Oh, I knew you were gonna
You can have fun and be serious. There's always your time to have fun.
For me, if I'm doing well, then I'm taking it very seriously. If I'm playing bad, then that means I'm just having fun.
I love to have fun when I play poker, and this event, it's all about fun.
To be totally honest, I don't think it ever got serious for me last year, and that was great because I just kept laughing. Oh, no.
It's serious in that every time you get knocked out of a tournament,
2 jacks!
that's not good. It feels like, you know, you trip and fall into a pond full of piranhas. And you never forget that feeling of being ripped limb from limb by all the pros once they smell a little weakness or a little blood in the water.
Yeah, double me up.
So you just try not to repeat the same mistakes you did last time you got knocked out.
Man, you played that crap? What are you doing?
It starts turning serious when you have like 40 times the big blind and you've had a third of the field drop out.
He's got 2 of my outs.
Until then, it's kind of like goofy.
Okay, give her everything.
Actually, at my table, the pros got serious pretty fast. About 5 hands into it, we were all staring sullenly at each other. The iPods were coming out, the sunglasses were going on. It was precious little fun to be had at my table.
Didn't get serious till we got down to about the final 9, and then people are thinking now's their chance to make a World Poker Tour final table.
Oh, he had a jack!
When you make the final table, it gets serious because it is money.
And at that point, you take it very seriously to get there. I definitely am out there to try to win this thing, and I'm taking it very seriously.
In case you're wondering, folks, well, who gets invited? How do you get invited to the WPT Invitational? A, you have to be a top-notch celebrity out here in Hollywood, or B, you pay a $25,000 buy-in into the WPT World Championship, and this is a bonus for you. You get to enter this tournament. Of course, also, all WPT champions are naturally invited to this event.
Let's go back down to the table on Jesse Jones from Henderson, Nevada.
Yeah, he looks down at Route 66.
Middle wired pair right now. He's popping it up.
Yep, makes it 36,000 to go.
Barry quickly folding.
Around to Blair Rodman on the button. He's got a small pair. He's got a pair of 3s. Now, this is the kind of hand you like to take flops with, small pairs, because you either hit a set on the flop or you might win a big pot.
I think I got 36.
And if you don't hit it, you just don't lose any more money. You don't get yourself in trouble.
Well, these guys have tangled all night long. Once again, he gets the call. Allen. And the small blind jack deuce goes out. Onto Tom Locke, the former park ranger. No, he's going to head back to the woods.
Another battle again between Jesse Jones and Blair Rodman. Jesse with the 2 6s, Blair with the 2 3s. Flop is queen, queen, 9.
First one to act is Jesse. He slows down, he checks it. Yielding to Blair Rodman.
Well, when your opponent checks, you might think 2 3s are the best hand here. Maybe your opponent's got something like an ace 10.
Blair just can't help himself, can he? He's got a bet. He does.
Well, he only bets 30,000, Vince. A very small bet into a $100,000 pot.
A little tickle bet.
So let's see if Jesse Jones can pick up on that tickle.
Well, it is a tickle bet, but I'll tell you, Jesse's got to be saying, did this guy have some kind of 9 sticking around with a 9 something? Am I behind at this point?
Well, a small bet into a big pot's what we call a post-oak bluff in poker.
Look at this.
Jesse Jones has read it perfectly. He's come over the top with the 2 6s, raising it 85,000 more.
Jesse Jones with a strong move. Strong play for Jesse Jones from Henderson, Nevada. And look at that look. Moment of truth time. He gets Blair to lay down the hand.
So what a play by Jesse Jones there. That was a bold move there to come back over the top with 2 6s when there's 3 overcards out there on the board.
So Jesse Jones making it work here for him in the LA Invitational. Stay tuned. We're coming right back with more on the World Poker Tour.
The first WPT Invitational, I had the honor of being first out. This time, I think I was like 3rd out. You know, my game's progressing. It was the funnest 3 minutes of my life.
Welcome back to the final table of the WPT Invitational. I'm Courtney Friel, and here are some of the highlights of the game so far.
And
At the WPT Invitational, a poker room manager had his invitation revoked. While the Robin Hood of poker used the night as his invitation to steal from the rich and give to himself. But this party is far from over. 3 pros and 2 amateurs are locked in battle for a 6-figure payday and a World Poker Tour title. 5 players remain in Los Angeles, but only one will write his own Hollywood ending.
Well, it's been a star-studded week. Celebrities and top poker pros have come out and played in this event. We are down to our final 5 players.
Let's go back down to the table.
Action's on the former park ranger, Tom Locke. He looks down at a small pair. He's got 2 5s. He's going to limp in. He calls for $20,000 under the gun.
Just calls. Now Jesse Jones with Queen 7. Goes out. Well, yes, he does. And now Barry Greenstein with 6-3.
There's absolutely nothing here. What can he be thinking about here, Vince?
Well, Robin Hood perhaps trying to take from the rich again. There he goes.
Wow, he's raised it $100,000 with a 6-3 offsuit here.
Strong move. Blair going out. Alan Kessler now with Queen 10. No, he goes away.
Well, he can't stand the heat.
And back on the former park ranger. He's got the pair of 5s. What do you do?
I want to raise.
He's going to raise it here.
Oh, yeah.
Tom is in second chip position right now. Barry Greenstein, our chip leader. He is trying to chop down the tree of Barry Greenstein, and he has done it, Vince. There's no way Barry is going to call this.
I hate to start a fire around this guy, I tell you. Look at this, a $250,000 raise. With a small pair, Barry says, no mas.
He caught Barry Greenstein with a match in his hand there, and he punished him, Vince.
Well, he is the Paul Bunyan of poker. He's bigger than life. 25 years in the woods, finally out amongst people. You know, and he's angry.
You got to love this guy. He's not afraid of that former WPT champion, Barry Greenstein. He just came right over the top of him and took that pot down.
Well, I got a feeling this man is fearless. Action's right back on Barry. This time he's got Queen 5, wants no part of it.
Blair quickly folds his hand.
Alan Kessler with an 8-7 with the button.
Lays it down.
And Tom Locke now with King Queen in the small blind.
Well, a strong hand in the small blind. And he's going to raise it. Makes it $70,000 to go.
Well, the one to beat, that would be Jesse Jones.
Wow, Jesse's picked up a monster hand here. Now let's see how he's going to play it. Does he want to just call here and camouflage the strength of his hand? Or is he going to go ahead and raise and come over the top of him?
Ranger Tom looks a little disturbed there. Look at Ranger's eyes darting back to his man on his left.
Boy. He looks like he's looking for forest fires, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a keen eye. You can see for miles, this man.
Right now, he's looking about 2 feet away, though, and studying Jesse Jones intently.
Uh-oh, here goes the raise.
Well, Jesse is coming over the top with the ace-king. He's going to raise it $150,000 more. Vince, this is sort of a tough hand to get away from against a big blind.
Hey, don't upset the ranger.
King-queen is one of those hands we call a trouble hand when a guy raises behind you. Because even if a king or queen comes up, you could be up against ace-king or ace-queen. That's exactly the scenario right here. What a laydown by the former park ranger, Vince.
Yep.
Really a good one right there to get away from that king-queen. He gives a big blind credit for having a hand, and indeed, Jesse Jones had one.
And you know what? You got to think this is what makes this game great. We get to see the cards. We get to see what's going on in the minds of the great players, unlike any other sport.
Well, we know the park ranger can clear a spot in the woods. Right there, he cleared away from a tough hand to get away from. Give him credit.
All right, 5 players remaining. Barry Greenstein still out in front with about 956. Alan Kessler with 204. Action on Blair Rodman. From Vegas, he goes out.
Alan Kessler, who's only played premium hands so far, lays down an ace-8.
Tom goes out. Now Jesse Jones in the small blind with queen 4 spades.
Let's see what Jesse's going to do. He's going to limp in and call out of the small blind.
And now it's up to Robin Hood in the big blind. He's got 7 deuce, a miserable hand.
Well, the worst hand you can pick up in Hold'em poker. But that doesn't stop Robin Hood from trying to rob the pot. He is going to raise it here.
Shame on you.
Hey, bully you.
When Jesse Jones lays down the queen 4 spade.
How can you not raise with this hand?
You got that hand again. You always get that hand.
He'll just try work again.
Now, folks, this is what pros understand about the game that amateurs may not understand, and that is when a guy limps in, it doesn't matter what your 2 cards are. If you sense his hand is not that strong, you can raise the pot and just take it away from him. That's exactly what Barry Greenstein did right there.
Well, it's a fun game to play when you have a lot of chips. Barry's got a lot of chips. We're coming back with more. Stay with us here on the World Poker Tour.
I knocked out a few celebrities just on fluke hands. Mike Sexton, he goes all in. I looked at my hand and I say, I have 2 kings. So I say, Mike, I have to call you.
I need a bullet. There it is, king.
I really didn't want to knock him out, but I knocked him out. So he said, you better take these chips to the final table, which is a weird coincidence because now I'm not at the final table.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We're in Los Angeles for the WPT Invitational, where the Hollywood celebs and the top poker pros mix it up.
Very shifty, dynamic play we're seeing here this evening. Tom Locke got king 9, goes out.
Over to Jesse Jones, who looks down at king 6. He's going to lay it down.
Now Barry Greenstein with the button with a miserable 4-3 offsuit.
Well, Vince, we got to give him a new nickname. It's called Raise with Anything on the Button Greenstein.
Oh, you're right. It's a 4-3. He is a beautiful thief. And Blair goes out with 10-6. Allen with ace-9, though, right behind him.
Well, Barry's done nothing but raise all day long with any 2 cards. Certainly Allen has to be aware of that. He's on the short stack here. Is he going to make his last stand right here?
I'm on.
He's doing it. He's pulled the trigger for all his chips.
Right back.
Nearly 200,000. Meaning it's going to cost Barry about another 140,000 to make the call.
Barry just smiling. Well, now he's trying to figure out whether it's worth it.
Blair would never fold this hand. But I'm
no, it's not. He's going to lay it down.
He opts to lay it down, so Alan Kessler winning the pot by coming over the top of Barry Greenstein. A play he should be making a little more often, in my opinion, Vince. Well, certainly all poker players everywhere dream about capturing a WPT title. These 5 guys have got a shot to do it tonight. This is a $200,000 free roll tournament for these players. The winner will take home $100,000 in cash, plus get a coveted $25,000 entry into the WPT World Championship. Well, action's going to be on Blair Rodman.
He goes out. Alan Kessler now with 9 deuce in his hand. Lays it down.
Over to Tom Locke. He lays his hand down. Jesse Jones in the small blind with a 5-3 offsuit. Last time he limped in, he got raised by Barry Greenstein, but he's trying it again. He's limping in with the 5-3.
And Robin Hood says with a king 7 of hearts, I'm fine. Enough of that. Let's go.
Well, maybe Barry's got too good a hand to raise with this time.
He's confused by these kind of hands.
Well, the flop comes 5-4-4, so Jesse now has 2 pair, 5s and 4s, and he's going to check.
Yes, he is. Going to give free rein to Barry Greenstein.
Well, he knows Barry's a very aggressive player. Barry's going to bet $20,000, the minimum bet possible here.
That is a mild little bet.
Let's see how Jesse's going to play his 2 5s here. He's getting out some extra chips, it looks like, Vince.
Does appear that way.
And yes, he is going to raise it. Yeah. He's making it $60,000.
Oh, the strong check and raise move. With not that great of a hand, will it work? Yes, it does.
Well, Barry quickly folding his hand.
And has made Jesse Jones a very happy man. All smiles, building up his chip stack.
So Barry Greenstein, who came to this final table with a big chip lead, is being whittled away here by these guys. Right now, his chip lead very small, Vince.
Well, I'll tell you something. Barry Greenstein, don't forget, is one of the high-stakes gamblers. He plays in some of the biggest cash games in the world. He is used to the big-time action.
Well, speaking of action, it's going to be on Jesse Jones.
Jesse's got about 473,000 in chips. This time lays down queen deuce. Around to Barry, and this time he's picked up a wired pair of fives.
Well, he's got the speed limit. He's got the 2 5s. He's going to raise it. Makes it 60,000 to go.
Into his old nemesis, Blair Rodman.
Oh, Vince, look, he's got the same pair of 10s he had a little while earlier when he laid him down when Barry moved all in with 2 7s.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does with the 2 10s this time.
Can he make things a little different this time? Blair Rodman, also a high-stakes gambler. Bet on anything kind of guy.
Well, Blair has about $500,000 in chips. 60,000 to him. Let's see what he's going to do.
Oh, look at that face. He looks determined.
Looks like the Terminator.
I'm all in.
Oh, there it is.
Wow. He is going all in here for about $500,000.
Over the top, Allen quickly going out. And now the park ranger's got a pair of 7s himself.
Wow. So he's got a mini decision here, but he has a lot of chips, Vince. He's only a shade behind Barry Greenstein.
Well, the ranger says, I want to talk to Yogi. I'll get out of the way here.
And notice Barry Greenstein quickly folds his hand as well. Doesn't even consider calling with the 2 5s there.
Well, Blair Rodman is one of these guys that's been hanging around. Maybe not one of the big names in poker, but tonight could change all that.
Blair Rodman, I'm a professional gambler. When I got out of college, I put all my stuff in my car, drove west, and ended up in Las Vegas. My dad didn't really know what I was doing when I was in Vegas. And I won a big blackjack tournament, and they had retired to San Luis Obispo, California. He was reading the LA Times, and he looks through, and there's a big picture of me holding the trophy and the money. And it sounds like a good thing, but it wasn't. In the Reno tournament, I felt great. It's very exciting being on the set and being on camera, all that. Gave it my best shot. I just didn't quite get the cards I needed. I've got another shot at it, and I want to make the most of it.
Seat number 2 is Mr. Blair Rodman.
Don't forget, we started with 293 players 3 days ago. We cut through all the movie stars and TV stars, down to the superstars, and then we got down to these 5. Who's going to take this title? Action on Barry. Looks down at ace-6. He goes out.
Well, look at this. He folds the ace high here. Maybe that's because he's got the average man's chip stack right now.
And Blair Rodman with a king-7 of hearts. Does he sense an opportunity here? He's going to push a little bit. He makes it $45,000.
Yeah, Blair going to try to take command of this table now.
Allen with a 9-7 goes out. Tom Luck with queen 4. He goes out.
Round to Jesse Jones in the big blind. Well, he's got the 6-3 of clubs, but he's also got 20,000 invested in the pot. There's 85,000 out there. Cost him 25,000 more to call.
Does he want to experiment with his hand? And yes, he is. He's going to dabble.
Well, it's the kind of hand that if you hit something on the flop with it, you're liable to get good action and perhaps double up. He's taking a chance. Let's see if it works out for him. Well, he's flopped bottom pair. And notice Blair has flopped a flush draw. Now Jesse checks the bottom pair. Now, if you're sitting at home wondering what pro players do when they flop a flush draw, when people check to you, they bet.
Look at that. He's going to bet $100,000 into Jesse.
Now, here's the problem when you check bottom pair in this spot. Now you're at a guess as the guy's got you beat or if he's just pulling a move on you.
Well, Jesse
if you lead out and get that information, you gather it much better than when you're trying to check and call.
Well, right there, Jesse does make the lay down. He's saying, you know, I got the tuxedo, got to bring it back tomorrow. Might as well get some more airtime.
So Blair on the move right now, Vince.
Well, I tell you something, he is on a rush. He is playing good. Let's see if he'll keep it up. We're coming right back. Stay with us. The WPT Invitational here on the World Poker Tour. Welcome back to the WPT Invitational. We're down to 5 players here.
Our current chip leader is former park ranger Tom Locke. Been playing recreational poker for 25 years. In second place, professional player Blair Rodman out of Las Vegas.
Action's going to be on Blair. Peaks down to 9-6, goes out.
Alan Kessler who hasn't made any moves at this final table unless he's had a hand, has got one here. He's got Big Slick, and he's going to bet 80,000 with it.
Yep, Ace King, Big Slick into Tom Locke, the chip leader. Tom's got a big hand too. King, Queen of Diamonds.
Well, that's what we call a treble hand after someone raises, and just for this reason, he's got King, Queen. His opponent's got Ace, King, but he's going to raise anyway.
300 more.
Well, he's going to try to stamp out this fire. He's going to make it $300,000 more.
A hefty raise by Tom Locke right here.
Jesse going out.
Now, Barry Greenstein has exactly the same hand as Tom Locke, but he folds his King, Queen.
This is my shot. I call.
Now, Allen says, I'm going to call it, though.
Well, he doesn't have quite that much. So Tom will get a mild refund here, but he is up against it.
I'm in trouble. I didn't want him to call.
Well, Alan Kessler, about a 3-to-1 favorite to win this pot and double up.
I'm awful lucky with that hand, though.
I know. I've been unlucky with this hand.
Very lucky with that hand.
Well, both players holding their breath here, especially Alan Kessler, because he knows if he loses this pot, it's bye-bye birdie for him. Well, the flop comes Jack 7-6 with 2 hearts.
And that is an excellent one for Alan, the internet marketing man.
Well, Alan Kessler out in front right now with the ace high. Tom's going to have to catch a queen or 2 running cards to make it straight. Well, a black deuce comes off. So we are down to the river. Tom Locke must catch a queen, a lucky lady. Otherwise, Alan Kessler is going to double up.
He needs the miracle suck out card. Can the Ranger do it?
Well, he's looking for a lucky lady. Nope. Well, you saw Alan jump. He didn't want to see any kind of paint come peeling off of there because it gives you a small fright. So the former park ranger, his tree cut down right there by Alan Kessler.
That was a scary card on the river.
Yes, and look at Tom. He looks stunned.
Looks like a guy in a rainforest without a poncho.
All right, well, going back to Jesse Jones. Jesse looks down at Jack 3. Offsuit. He goes out. Now Barry Greenstein. Oh, he's got some nice cards. Ace 10.
Well, he's going to raise it. Comes in for 60,000.
Blair going out.
I planned on it, but
Alan Kessler with 6-4.
And he wants no part of it.
Chances of him already.
And Tom Locke now with just Jack 10. He's going to call.
Well, he's got 20,000 out there, costing 40,000 more to call.
So we got Ace 10 versus Jack 10 here. Here we go.
And it's come 10 high.
Uh-oh.
This could spell trouble for the park ranger. He checks.
They both have top pair, but of course we know Barry has the big kicker, the ace.
Yep, he's got what we call top pair with top kicker. And right now the kicker is playing. And Barry bets 90,000.
Tom's looking at his chips here.
That's going to be hard to get away from top pair here, I think, Vince. Unfortunately for him, it could spell doom.
I'm going all in.
Whoa, no.
Yeah, he's going over the top. He's going all in. Barry's going to call him.
Buckle up. Call 911. Put the kids to bed. He's in trouble.
See you guys later.
Barry about a 9-to-1 favorite to win this pot as the cards lie, but
you got me.
We've seen bigger outdraws than that on the World Poker Tour.
I kind of knew that when you called.
He was the chip leader. You seesaw battle all night long. The amateur player from Henderson, Nevada, 55 years old. His WPT champion title at stake right now.
Well, a 9 comes off. Unless Tom Locke, the former park ranger, catches a jack, we're going to be hearing timber around here very shortly, Vince.
Well, park ranger getting up. That's going to do it.
It's a deuce. So timber is the call.
I give it to myself.
He is down and out.
Yeah. He is back to the woods to feed the reindeer.
He won a seniors tournament at Bellagio in Las Vegas to gain his entry into this tournament. Played very well here all week. Goes out in 5th place.
A bold effort by Tom Locke. We are down to 4 in LA at the Commerce Casino. Stay tuned. We'll come back with more action. Hello and welcome back to the WPT. It is the WPT Invitational at the Commerce Casino. I'm Vince Van Patten alongside my friend Mike Sexton. There are 4 players remain right now.
Yeah. What about my son, Joe?
What about Joe?
Joe, my son.
First to act, Barry Greenstein, just having a ball here tonight.
Winning that last pot is vaulting him back into the chip lead, and he has over $1 million worth of chips.
He's got a 5 and a 10.
He lays it down.
Yes, he does. And now Blair Rodman, he's got ace-4.
Well, he's got the ace high. He's on the button. He's in position. He knows that ace high is favored over 2 random hands, so he's going to raise it. 55,000.
Into Alan Kessler. Alan's got queen, 6 of spades in the small blind, but he goes out. Last one to beat is Jesse Jones, who he's got a wired pair of 8s.
Oh boy, he's got the snowman. Let's see if we can make Blair melt away here. Oh, Vince, I'd be surprised if he didn't come over the top of this hand. When a guy raises on the button and you pick up 2 8s in the big blind, you know, the correct play is just to come right over the top of him. If he's got that hand beat, good luck to him. Let's see how he's going to play this hand. He's just going to call it, Vince. So he takes the conservative route. Let's see if it pays off for him. Jesse Jones with the 2 8s. Blair Rodman with the ace-4. Oh, and it's come ace, ace-7. This could spell trouble for Jesse Jones. He's going to check the 2 8s. And Blair quickly checks right behind him, Vince.
Yeah.
Trying to trap his man here. Now the 9 of spade comes off.
And this could get ugly right now.
Well, the way the hand was played, you're sitting there with 2 8s. Probably got to feel you might have the best hand right now.
Jesse getting chips out. Oh boy.
Well, he's going to bet 110,000.
Right into the man that trapped him so beautifully, Blair Rodman.
Well, Blair has 3 aces, but there's a 2-card potential straight and potential flush on the board. His opponent could have a pair. Does he just want to gamble here and call, where he could get outdrawn on the river, or does he make his move here, Vince? But let's see what he's going to do. There's no way he's going to lay 3 aces down.
Well, when he says
he's going all in. He's not going to fool around anymore. He was going to put Jesse Jones to the test.
The test is really over, and he failed it.
Well,
and look at that. That is a cry for help look there by Jesse Jones. And it's just realizing everything you've done in this hand is wrong.
Everything's only going to be wrong if he makes this call, Vince, because he's most likely going to be out if that happens. So Jesse Jones, faced with a decision that could mean all his chips here. What he's saying is, why couldn't that 9 have been an 8?
How to get out of the quicksand.
Remember, he understands Blair checked on the flop. Now, was that a check because he didn't have nothing? Is he just making a move here? Is he on a spade draw? Are my 2 8s good? These are the thoughts going through Jesse Jones's mind right now.
Oh, yeah, he's finally doing the right thing.
Jesse does make the right laydown after long consideration. So with that pot, Blair Rodman, now the chip leader. He's got $1,065,000. Barry Greenstein in second place, also has over $1 million. Third place, Alan Kessler with $563,000. And on the bottom of the totem pole right now, Jesse Jones with about $270,000.
Now, I got to say something. Jesse looks so nice tonight in the tux, but I got a problem with that because a man in a tuxedo should never lose all his chips at the poker table. It just doesn't look right.
Well, he's dressed for success. Let's see if he can get to the 1 hole.
Action's going to be on. Allen quickly folding an 8-5 back on Jesse Jones.
Oh,
wow.
What a way to put the expensive wine back in the bottle. Pick up 2 aces.
At the mother of all poker hands.
Oh, boy. And he's getting out some raising chips. Blinds are 15 and 30,000. Looks like he's going to make it 85,000 to go. Well, Barry quickly folds his hand.
Now, Blair Rodman,
you got
his old nemesis, goes out with Queen 9. So, no, he won't quite get the action he wanted. But it's still got to feel good.
Well, as the late, great Stu Unger once told me, all two aces are good for is to win a small pot or lose a big one. Right there, Jesse Jones taking down a small pot with the two aces. But, Vince, anytime you get two aces and you don't get action, you're not really happy.
True, but it's not a bad beat story.
Hey, you're right about that. He did add chips to his stack, so it's not all bad. All right, action's going to be on Barry Greenstein here. He is our chip leader at the moment.
Former WPT champion. Look at this, he's got 9s.
And he is going to raise it. Makes it 90,000 to go with two 9s.
Blair going out with 10-4.
Round to Alan Kessler. He looks down at 6-3, shakes his head, throws it away.
Around to Jesse Jones in the big blind. He's got Queen Jack offsuit.
Well, he's on the short stack. Does he want to call here? No, he's going all in. He's come over the top of Barry for about 230,000 more. And without hesitation, Barry's going to look him up.
Well, Barry's got a real hand. He's made this call.
So we have a classic race situation. It's an under pair versus two overcards. Right now, the under pair a slight favorite to win the pot. But Jesse Jones's overcards must take this pot down, or he's going to be our fourth place finisher.
We will see chanting for Jesse and Barry. The crowd loving this fight tonight. Stay tuned. We're coming back with the conclusion of this great hand in just a moment. Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. Jesse Jones in a bit of trouble. He is all in with his Queen Jack up against Barry Greenstein's pair of 9s.
Well, to win these No Limit Hold'em championship events, you got to win the races. Let's see who wins this one. Oh, look at this flop. Barry has flopped 3 9s, but it's never easy. Jesse Jones has flopped an open end straight. Well, both players chuckling. Right now, Jesse looking for a king or an 8 to take the lead here. Barry, of course, looking for the board to pair to end this thing.
Wow, what a hand.
Tremendous drama in this hand.
Oh. And he made the straight on the turn. He's hit the king eye straight. But it is not over. Barry Greenstein could fill up on the river. He needs the board to pair.
Oh, wow. What a turn card.
Oh, boy. The tuxedo's got a little starch in it now, Vince. Jesse Jones standing up. Oh, Barry's made 4 9s on the river to win this pot. Wow. What drama. Hugs all around. Wow. Well, Jesse Jones, very popular in the poker world. Everybody appreciates this guy, Vince. He bows to his fans, claps for them. You gotta love it.
Well, the very classy gentleman, Jesse Jones. A pleasure to watch play. He has battled through this event. He is our fourth place finisher.
What a tournament he's played here. Well, Barry Greenstein going for his second WPT title tonight. Blair and Allen going for their first. Who's going to capture this prestigious title? We shall shortly see.
Right now, Barry Greenstein has about 1.5 million. Short stack is Alan Kessler. Action is going to be on Blair Rodman right now.
Blair with about 940,000 in chips. Looks down at Queen Jack.
And Blair is going to raise this. He goes up to 90,000, it looks like.
Over to Alan Kessler. He looks down at his 10-8. Lays it down.
And now Barry Greenstein. He's got ace-4 clubs.
And he's going to make the call. So the two chip leaders battling it out in this first hand of three-way action. The flop is 8-8-3, no help to either player.
Barry quickly checked it. And Blair right behind him. Nothing hitting for him. He has checked it as well. Here's the turn.
Well, a 9 comes off. Now this gives Blair a gut shot straight draw. Barry with the best hand with ace-high checks, and Blair again checks right behind him.
No funny business in this hand.
And on the river, the board pairs nines. Again, Barry checks. Look at this. Blair's reaching for chips. I can't believe this bet. Makes no sense to me.
Well, he has just bet $100,000. Going to try to take this away from Barry. It's going to work.
I'm shocked that Barry Greenstein will lay this hand down. He had ace-high. I mean, his opponent virtually has to have a full house to have him beat. He never took a bet in that pot.
Well, it's still possible, Mike.
Well, I'm puzzled by both players' play there. I got to tell you.
All right, let's go back to the table. Allen would have caught his full house, of course, so he's got to be sickened. And it's on him right now. He's got ace-7 of hearts. And he's going to make it a $75,000 raise, going up to 105.
Yep, makes it $105,000 to go. Well, Barry Greenstein has picked up a pair of jacks.
Yep.
Just a monster hand in a three-handed poker game. For sure he's going to play him. It's just a matter if he's just going to call this $105,000 or come over the top.
$550 total.
Oh, boy.
Well, he's betting just enough money to set Allen all in here.
Blair quickly folding his hand.
So it's up to Allen. And Allen's got about $440,000 left.
That is a complete muscle bet.
Well, Vince, Barry Greenstein makes a lot of moves at pot, but he makes them when he's the first to act. When someone raises and he comes over the top, especially in this situation against a tight player, you have to put him on a hand here. He's not making a move, especially with Blair sitting behind him, yet to act.
I have to agree.
Well, in my view, this is a pretty easy laydown for Allen to make.
A dire situation here. All right, I got to call you.
He's taking a shot here. As the cards lie, he's about a 2-to-1 underdog to win this pot.
Not going to like it when he sees it. Let's see the look. Oh, that's it.
Vince, he could have easily been dominated. He could have been up against ace-jack just as easy.
So far behind, I have to make a move here. Ace of spades.
Okay, he's going to start talking to the dealer.
You wouldn't even take the ace of diamonds?
No, just the ace of spades.
Man, you're
Put a blackjack and 2 hearts.
Yeah, put a blackjack up there.
And then I'll make a flush.
Yeah, that'll make an interesting hand. There it is, the blackjack.
Well, it's come king, queen, jack. Barry Greenstein has flopped 3 jacks. That means an ace won't do Allen any good anymore, but a 10 would win it for him.
Sure.
Because he'd make an ace-high straight.
That would work at this point.
So he is looking to make Broadway an ace-high straight. He must catch a 10 to do it. Well, a 7 comes off. Now, although that pairs Allen, it's of no use to him, because even if a 7 or an ace comes off, he's going to lose this pot to 3 jacks.
Well, the internet computer man, his computer could be on crash right now. He needs a lucky card. He needs to spike the 10.
10.
Can he catch Broadway?
It's over.
A 6 comes off. That's going to do it for Alan Kessler.
And that is just a tremendous effort by Alan Kessler. It's our 3rd place finisher here tonight.
And Vince, it's come down to the 2 pros, Barry Greenstein and Blair Rodman. They started this final table as the 2 chip leaders. They are going to battle it out for this title.
We are down to heads-up action. It is going to be exciting, but first, our money presentation.
And here it comes. The beautiful Commerce girls carrying out the envelope, Vince.
Look at this. Good things come in big packages, I guess. Look at the money come out.
Oh, man.
Oh.
So there it is. The cash, the trophy, the title, everything up for grabs. Will Barry Greenstein capture his 2nd WPT title, or will Blair Rodman capture his 1st?
Stay with us. We're coming right back on the World Poker Tour.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. You're watching the WPT Invitational. We are down to heads-up play. And Vince, it's come down to the 2 guys. That's no surprise that they're here. They were the chip leaders coming into this final table. They're the most experienced players at this table. Will Barry Greenstein capture his 2nd World Poker Tour title tonight, or will Blair Rodman capture his 1st?
The ultimate macho match about to begin. And Barry Greenstein right now, the chip leader, with over $1.9 million. Compared to Blair's about $1 million. Action's going to be on the Robin Hood of poker, Barry Greenstein.
Very nearly a 2-to-1 chip leader. Going to raise it on the first pot here. Makes it 90,000 to go with 4 high.
Oh. And Blair Rodman at this point has got a 9-8.
That's going to cost him 60,000 more to make the call.
Yeah. 90, right? 90 total.
And he is going to make the call. So Blair with the 9-8. Barry Greenstein with a 4-3.
2 imposters here, Mike.
Here comes the flop.
Game of psychology. Here it is.
Now flop is 10-6 deuce. Both players have flopped a gut shot straight draw.
Check.
Blair has the best hand right now, believe it or not, with 9 high. He checks.
Well, it's not about the hands at this point. It's about guts. Who's going to take it?
Well, you're right, Vince. It's about betting. Who's going to do the betting here? Looks like Barry Greenstein is. Many players would check the gut shot straight draw. Not Barry Greenstein. He bets 125,000.
He is going to poker punch Blair right now. Can Blair take the heat?
Well, Blair opts not to draw for the gut shot straight, throws it away.
Oh, it's going to be successful, and that's why Barry Greenstein is one of the true greats. Relentless power poker we just saw.
Well, players call that playing the game, Vince. When you win hands with the worst cards, you are playing the game, and certainly Barry Greenstein is doing so right now.
Let's go back down to the felt on Barry Greenstein.
Well, Barry looks down at an ace-9. Pretty strong hand in a heads-up match. And Barry's going to make it 90,000 to go again.
To Blair. Blair looks down at a jack-deuce of clubs.
Now, Vince, he's making this call. I'm not really crazy about this play, but maybe it'll work out for him.
Well, he's splashing around, hoping to get lucky.
Well, you're right about that. Let's see if he can. Well, it's come King 9-5 with 2 diamonds. Blair checks. Barry, of course, has 2 9s with an ace kicker. He's reaching for chips and going to bet 125,000. And Blair's going to get out. And if Blair's going to play this kind of poker, he's going to be in for a long night in this heads-up battle. That style is just not going to work against Barry Greenstein. You've got to be the initiator. You've got to come over the top. You've got to lead out at pot.
I know.
You've got to take the lead. You just can't let Barry Greenstein dictate the tempo and the action to you if you want to beat him. Well, with that pot, Barry Greenstein increases his chip lead. He's now up to over 2.1 million in chips. Blair Rodman down to about 800,000.
Barry Greenstein working the rush. Action's going to be on him.
Well, catching cards like this, that's very likely, Vince. He's got ace-king, just a monster hand. And notice he bets 90,000 again. When he has the big hands or when he's got 4 high, makes the same bet.
It goes up to 90,000, but right behind him, Blair Rodman also with the big hand, ace-10 of clubs.
Wow. Well, Blair is dominated here, but he doesn't know it, Vince. It's by far the best hand he's picked up in this heads-up match. This could be his Waterloo.
I'm going to raise.
Oh, boy.
And he is going to raise.
Oh,
I don't blame him. I'd raise also. I mean, Barry's raised every single time on the button. You have to think ace-10 is probably the best hand. Because of the WPT cam. Brought to you by Budweiser. We can see that it's not, and he is dominated. Let's see how much he's going to raise.
Sold. I'm all in.
He's going all in.
Oh, boy.
I call.
Well, Barry quickly calls him.
Blair is going to hate this.
Well, he sees that he's dominated. He shakes his head.
Wow. How do you do it?
It's not over by any means, but right now, Barry Greenstein about a 70% favorite to win this pot and capture his second WPT title.
We got 5 little cards to come out
Right in the door.
to change the world.
Well, Blair's saying put a 10 right in the door. Let me at least have a chance here.
Both players up on their feet.
It's a king right in the door, but a 10 also comes up.
Yeah.
Both players have flopped a pair.
Hugely disappointed.
It could come queen-jack where they would split this pot, where they both have an ace-high straight. But for Blair to win the pot, he's got to catch a 10.
Put a queen up.
Here comes the turn. It's a 4 spades. Not going to help Blair.
Well, Blair Rodman has 2 outs, as we say. He must catch a red 10 on the river. He's a 19-to-1 underdog to do so. He needs a 10. Can he get lucky?
WPT Invitational on the line. Here it comes.
Nope, it's a deuce. So that's going to do it. Barry Greenstein has done it. He has captured his second World Poker Tour title. Getting out a copy of his book. He's going to autograph it for Blair and say, now you read this, son, next time you won't finish second, you'll come in first. Well, Blair Rodman acknowledging the crowd here. A great performance for him this week. Another runner-up finish on the WPT, but he'll be back, Vince. You can bet on it. And one day, he may yet capture his first WPT title.
Sold. I'm on.
Before we talk to our champion, let's talk to our runner-up, Blair Rodman from Henderson, Nevada. Well, Blair, terrific week, second runner-up finish. Tell us how you're feeling.
Wow, this is a great event. This was a blast playing here, and playing a World Poker Tour final table is more fun than you can imagine. And I'm sure winning one would be even more fun than that.
Now let's talk to our champion from Rancho Palos Verdes, California, Barry Greenstein. Barry, you're an icon in the poker world. Certainly everybody admires you not only for your play as a terrific poker player, but for what you do. Barry, of course, as you know, by winning this event, you get a $25,000 entry in the WPT World Championship. Courtney Frio has that entry for you now.
Well, thank you, Courtney.
So you got a chance to win millions more for your charity.
Very good. Thank you. I like that.
Now, as a custom on the World Poker Tour, it's time to toast our champion with Budweiser, the official beer of the World Poker Tour. Here's to a guy who's not only a credit to the poker world, he's a credit
Friday, sometimes truth is scarier than fiction. The team from Most Haunted explores dark corners in search of the supernatural. It's most unpredictable, most chilling, most haunted. Friday at 9, only on the Travel Channel.
Mike Sexton saying thanks for watching. And until next time, may all your cards be live and your pots be monsters.